Success is not fair, and the sooner you accept this reality, the sooner you can start winning at the game of life. While you're waiting for things to be fair, while you're complaining about advantages other people have, while you're focusing on what you don't have, high achievers are taking action with what they do have. I spent the first 25 years of my life believing that successful people just got lucky breaks that I didn't get. I thought they had connections I didn't have, opportunities I didn't have, money I didn't have. Then I met my mentor, and he taught me something that changed everything. He said, Jim, fair is a weather condition, not a life condition. Stop waiting for life to be fair and start making life work. That's when I discovered that while I was busy being a victim of my circumstances, other people were busy being architects of their future. They weren't complaining about the cards they were dealt. They were playing their cards better than anyone else. Success doesn't care about your background, your age, your education, or your current situation. Success only cares about your commitment to developing the mindset of a winner and taking action despite the odds. Here's something that changed my life forever. I was 25 years old, broke, and wondering why some people seemed to have it all while I was struggling to make ends meet. Then I met my mentor, and he asked me a question that shook me to my core. He said, Jim, if you want to be successful, you need to understand this. Success is not an accident. It's not luck. It's not who you know or where you were born. Success is the result of a specific mindset, and that mindset can be learned. That conversation started me on a path that would completely transform my life. Over the years, I've had the privilege of studying successful people from all walks of life. Business leaders, entrepreneurs, artists, athletes, teachers, parents who raised exceptional children, and you know what I found? They all share certain mental patterns, certain ways of thinking that separate them from the average person. Today I want to share with you what I've learned about the mindset of high achievers. Not theory, not wishful thinking, but practical wisdom that you can apply starting right now to transform your own life. The first thing you need to understand is that high achievers think differently about responsibility. Most people, when something goes wrong in their life, they look around for someone to blame. The economy, their boss, their circumstances, their past, their education, their family. High achievers do something completely different. They look in the mirror. I learned this lesson the hard way. When I was struggling financially, I spent years blaming everything and everyone except myself. I blamed my job, I blamed the company, I blamed the government, I blamed my lack of opportunity. Then my mentor said something that hit me like a lightning bolt. Jim, if you want your life to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. If you want more, you have to become more. That's when I realized that I was the problem, but more importantly, I was also the solution. High achievers understand this fundamental truth. You are responsible for your life. Not your circumstances, not your background, not what happened to you yesterday. You are responsible for what you do with your life from this moment forward. This is both the most challenging and the most liberating truth you'll ever face. It's challenging because it means you can't blame anyone else for your results. But it's liberating because it means you have the power to change your results. I remember meeting a woman who grew up in poverty, dropped out of school at 16, and had every excuse in the world to fail. Instead, she became one of the most successful business owners in her community. When I asked her how she did it, she said, I decided that my past was not going to determine my future. I took responsibility for my education, my skills, my attitude, and my results. That's the mindset of a high achiever. They don't waste time on excuses. They invest their energy in solutions. The second characteristic of high achievers is how they view problems and challenges. Most people see problems as roadblocks, as reasons to quit, as evidence that they're not meant to succeed. High achievers see problems as puzzles to solve, as opportunities to grow, as the price of admission to a better life. I've never met a successful person who didn't have their share of problems. The difference is in how they respond to those problems. Average people ask, why me? High achievers ask, how can I use this to become better? Let me tell you about a friend of mine who lost his job during an economic downturn. He was 45 years old, had a family to support, and could have easily fallen into despair. Instead, he said, "This is my chance to start the business I've always dreamed of." He used his severance pay to launch a small consulting firm. Within 3 years, he was earning more than he ever had as an employee. The problem became his opportunity. High achievers understand that problems are not punishments, they're preparation. Every challenge you face is preparing you for something greater. Every obstacle you overcome is building strength and character that you'll need for the next level of your life. This brings me to the third characteristic. High achievers are students. They never stop learning. They read books, attend seminars, listen to educational programs, and seek out mentors. They understand that formal education might make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. I've been studying successful people for decades, and I've never met one who wasn't constantly learning. They read biographies of other successful people. They study their industry. They learn new skills. They invest in their personal development like their life depends on it. Because it does. The average person finishes school and thinks their education is complete. High achievers understand that graduation is just the beginning. The real education starts when you take responsibility for your own learning. I challenge you to become a student of success. Read 30 minutes a day. That's just 2% of your day, but it can change your life. In 5 years, you'll have read over 90 books. Do you think reading 90 books on success, leadership, and personal development might change your perspective? Do you think it might give you ideas you don't have now? Do you think it might help you see opportunities you're currently missing? High achievers also understand the power of written goals. They don't just think about what they want, they write it down. They create specific measurable objectives and review them regularly. They understand that a goal properly set is halfway reached. I learned this from my mentor, who taught me that goals are like a magnet. They attract the things, people, and opportunities you need to achieve them. But here's the key. The goal must be written down, it must be specific, and it must have a deadline. Most people have wishes, not goals. They wish they had more money. They wish they had a better job. They wish they were healthier. High achievers have goals. They write down exactly what they want, when they want it, and what they're willing to do to get it. I remember setting my first real goal. I wanted to earn a certain amount of money within 5 years. I wrote it down, I put it where I could see it every day, and I started working toward it. Something magical happened. I started noticing opportunities I had never seen before. I started meeting people who could help me. I started taking actions I had never taken before. The goal became a powerful force that guided my decisions and actions. The fourth characteristic is discipline. High achievers have developed the ability to do what they should do when they should do it, whether they feel like it or not. This is the bridge between thought and accomplishment, between inspiration and achievement. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the foundation of a successful life. It's the ability to give up what you want now for what you want most. It's the willingness to pay the price of success in advance. I learned about discipline from watching my mentor. He got up at the same time every day. He read for an hour every morning. He planned his day. He made his important calls. He took care of his health. He did these things consistently, not because he felt like it, but because he knew they were the activities that would create the results he wanted. Most people operate on feelings. If they feel like working out, they work out. If they feel like eating healthy, they eat healthy. If they feel like reading, they read. High achievers operate on commitment. They do what they committed to do, regardless of how they feel. This is where the magic happens. Small disciplines repeated with consistency create major results. The difference between success and failure is not usually one dramatic event. It's the accumulation of small daily choices over time. Think about it this way. If you read just 10 pages of a good book every day, you'll read 18 books in a year. If you save just $5 a day, you'll have almost $2,000 at the end of the year. If you exercise just 20 minutes a day, you'll be in the best shape of your life within a year. The compound effect of small, consistent actions is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. High achievers understand this and use it to their advantage. Now let me share with you something that might be the most important thing I've learned about success. Your philosophy shapes your attitude, and your attitude shapes your results. If you want to change your results, you must start by changing your philosophy. So what do I mean by philosophy? I mean your set of beliefs about life, about success, about what's possible, about what you deserve, about how the world works. Your philosophy is like the software that runs your life. If the software is flawed, the results will be flawed. I had a flawed philosophy for the first 25 years of my life. I believed that successful people were just lucky, that they had advantages I didn't have, that the deck was stacked against people like me. This philosophy created a poor attitude, and my poor attitude created poor results. When I changed my philosophy, everything changed. I started believing that success was possible for anyone willing to learn and work. I started believing that I could create my own opportunities. I started believing that I was responsible for my own results. This new philosophy created a better attitude, and my better attitude created better results. High achievers have developed philosophies that serve them. They believe in possibilities, not limitations. They believe in solutions, not problems. They believe in personal responsibility, not victim mentality. They believe in abundance, not scarcity. One of the most important parts of a success philosophy is how you handle criticism and rejection. High achievers understand that criticism and rejection are not personal attacks. They're simply part of the process. They don't let other people's opinions determine their actions or their self-worth. I remember when I first started speaking professionally, I had people tell me I wasn't good enough, that I should stick to my day job, that I was wasting my time. If I had listened to them, I never would have had the career that changed my life and allowed me to help millions of people. High achievers understand that you cannot let other people's limited vision of your potential become your reality. They listen to criticism, they learn from it when it's valid, but they don't let it stop them from pursuing their dreams. They also understand that rejection is not personal. When someone says no to their idea, their product, or their service, they don't take it as a rejection of them as a person. They understand that rejection is simply information, and they use that information to improve their approach. This brings me to another crucial aspect of the high achiever mindset: the people you choose to spend time with. High achievers are very careful about their associations. They understand that you become like the people you spend the most time with. If you want to be successful, you need to spend time with successful people. If you want to be healthy, you need to spend time with healthy people. If you want to be positive, you need to spend time with positive people. This is not about being snobby or thinking you're better than anyone else. This is about recognizing that association is one of the most powerful forces in human development. I learned this lesson when I started spending time with my mentor and his successful friends. Their thinking rubbed off on me. Their standards became my standards. Their disciplines became my disciplines. Their vision of what was possible became my vision of what was possible. You cannot soar with eagles if you continue to scratch with turkeys. That might sound harsh, but it's true. If you want to change your life, you need to change your associations. Now, this doesn't mean you have to abandon your old friends or become arrogant. It means you need to be intentional about spending time with people who inspire you, challenge you, and support your growth. It means you need to find mentors, join groups, and create relationships that pull you toward your goals rather than away from them. High achievers also understand the importance of integrity. They do what they say they're going to do. They keep their word to others, and more importantly, they keep their word to themselves. This builds trust, and trust is the foundation of all successful relationships, including the relationship you have with yourself. I've seen people with great talent fail because they lacked integrity. I've seen people with average talent succeed because they were absolutely reliable. When you become known as someone who keeps their word, opportunities will find you. Integrity also means being honest about your strengths and weaknesses. High achievers don't pretend to be perfect. They acknowledge their limitations and work to improve them. They're not afraid to admit when they don't know something, and they're quick to seek help when they need it. This leads me to the daily habits and routines that high achievers have developed. Success is not an event, it's a process. It's not something that happens to you, it's something you create through your daily action. High achievers have morning routines that set them up for success. They might read, exercise, meditate, plan their day, or review their goals. They understand that how you start your day determines how you live your day. They also have evening routines that help them reflect on their progress and prepare for the next day. They might journal, review what they learned, plan tomorrow's priorities, or read before bed. These routines might seem small, but they create compound effects over time. They ensure that every day moves you closer to your goals rather than just letting life happen to you. High achievers also take care of their health and energy. They understand that success requires sustained effort, and sustained effort requires good health. They eat well, exercise regularly, get enough sleep, and manage their stress. They know that their body is the vehicle that will carry them to their dreams. I've seen too many people work hard to achieve success only to sacrifice their health in the process. What good is financial success if you're too sick to enjoy it? What good is career success if you're too tired to spend time with your family? High achievers think about success in all areas of life. They want to be successful in their career, their relationships, their health, their personal development, and their contribution to others. They understand that true success is not just about what you accomplish, but about who you become in the process. This brings me to one of the most important concepts I can share with you, the difference between making a living and designing a life. Most people focus on making a living. They get a job, they work hard, they pay their bills, and they hope for the best. High achievers focus on designing a life. They create a vision of what they want their life to look like, and then they work backward to figure out what they need to do to create that life. Making a living is about survival. Designing a life is about creating something meaningful and fulfilling. It's about becoming the person you're capable of becoming and making the contribution you're capable of making. When I was 25 and struggling, I was focused on making a living. I was just trying to get by. When I started focusing on designing a life, everything changed. I started thinking about what I really wanted, not just what I needed. I started thinking about who I wanted to become, not just what I wanted to have. This shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of just working for money, you start working for meaning. Instead of just getting through the day, you start creating the day. Instead of just hoping things will get better, you start making things better. High achievers understand that the purpose of life is not just to be happy, but to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. They think about the legacy they want to leave, the impact they want to have, the contribution they want to make. This doesn't mean you have to change the world or become famous. It means you need to use your unique talents and abilities to make a positive difference in the lives of others. It might be through your work, your family, your community, or your personal relationship. I've learned that the most fulfilled people are not necessarily the ones who have the most, but the ones who give the most. They understand that contribution is the highest form of success. Let me tell you about a man I know who built a successful business and made a lot of money. But what he's most proud of is the scholarship program he created for underprivileged children. He says that making money was satisfying, but changing lives is fulfilling. High achievers understand that success is not just about what you get, but about what you become and what you give. They measure their success not just by their bank account, but by their character, their relationships, and their contribution. Now, let me share with you the most important truth about the mindset of high achievers. It's available to everyone. You don't need special talent, special connections, or special circumstances. You need to make a decision to think and act differently. The first step is to take complete responsibility for your life. Stop making excuses and start making progress. Stop blaming others and start changing yourself. Stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. The second step is to become a student. Start reading, start learning, start growing. Invest in yourself like your life depends on it, because it does. Remember, Formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. The third step is to set clear, written goals. Decide what you want, write it down, set a deadline, and start working toward it. Goals are dreams with deadlines. They give you direction, motivation, and a way to measure your progress. The fourth step is to develop discipline. Start doing what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Remember, discipline is the bridge between thought and accomplishment. The fifth step is to choose your associations carefully. Spend time with people who inspire you, challenge you, and support your growth. You become like the people you spend the most time with, so choose wisely. The sixth step is to maintain your integrity. Do what you say you're going to do. Keep your word to others and to yourself. Build trust through consistent, honest actions. The seventh step is to develop daily habits and routines that support your goals. Success is not an event, it's a process. Make sure your daily actions are moving you toward your dreams. The eighth step is to take care of your health and energy. Your body is the vehicle that will carry you to your dreams. Treat it with respect and care. The ninth step is to think about success in all areas of life. Don't just focus on money or career. Think about your relationships, your health, your personal development, and your contribution to others. The 10th step is to focus on designing a life, not just making a living. Create a vision of what you want your life to look like, and then work to make that vision a reality. These steps are simple, but they're not easy. They require commitment, consistency, and courage. They require you to think differently, act differently, and be different. But if you're willing to do what high achievers do, you can have what high achievers have. The choice is yours. You can continue to think and act like the average person and get average results. Or you can develop the mindset of a high achiever and create an extraordinary life. I challenge you to start today. Start where you are with what you have. Don't wait for perfect conditions, because perfect conditions never come. Don't wait until you feel ready, because you'll never feel completely ready. Start now, start small, but start. Remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The best time to start developing the mindset of a high achiever was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Your life is waiting for you to claim it. Your dreams are waiting for you to pursue them. Your potential is waiting for you to develop it. The question is not whether you can change your life. The question is whether you will. The mindset of high achievers is not complicated, but it is powerful. It's based on taking responsibility, solving problems, continuous learning, setting goals, developing discipline, choosing good associations, maintaining integrity, creating good habits, taking care of your health, and focusing on contribution. These are not just ideas to think about. These are principles to live by. They are the foundation of a successful life. They are the keys to unlocking your potential and creating the life you truly want. You have everything you need to succeed. You have a mind that can think, a heart that can feel, and a will that can choose. You have the ability to learn, to grow, to change, and to contribute. You have unlimited potential waiting to be developed. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to develop the mindset of a high achiever. That decision is yours to make. That decision is available to you right now. That decision can change everything. Make it now. Your future self will thank you for it. Your family will benefit from it. The world will be better because of it. You have the power to make a difference, starting with making a difference in your own life. The mindset of high achievers is not just about achieving success. It's about becoming the person you're capable of becoming. It's about living a life of meaning, purpose, and contribution. It's about making the most of the time you have and the talents you've been given. But let me tell you something else about high achievers that most people never understand. They have learned to master their emotions. They don't let temporary feelings dictate their long-term actions. They understand that emotions are visitors, not residents. They come and go, but your commitment to your goals must remain constant. I learned this lesson during one of the most difficult periods of my life. I was building my business, working long hours, facing rejection after rejection. There were days when I felt like quitting, days when I questioned whether I was on the right path. But I had learned something important. Successful people feel the same emotions as unsuccessful people. The difference is what they do with those emotions. High achievers feel fear, but they act in spite of fear. They feel doubt, but they move forward in spite of doubt. They feel discouraged, but they continue in spite of discouragement. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear, but action in the presence of fear. This is where most people get stuck. They wait to feel confident before they take action. High achievers understand that confidence comes from action, not the other way around. You don't have to feel ready to start. You just have to start to feel ready. I remember meeting a woman who built $1 million business. When I asked her about her secret, she said, "I learned to separate my feelings from my actions. I might feel nervous about making a presentation, but I make the presentation anyway. I might feel uncertain about a business decision, but I make the decision based on facts, not feeling." This emotional mastery is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It means you're not at the mercy of your moods. It means you can be productive even when you don't feel like it. It means you can be consistent even when circumstances are inconsistent. High achievers also understand the power of focus. In a world full of distractions, the ability to focus on what matters most is a superpower. They don't try to do everything. They identify the few things that will make the biggest difference and focus on those things with laser intensity. I learned about focus from watching a successful entrepreneur who built 3 different companies. He told me, "Jim, most people fail not because they don't work hard enough, but because they work hard on the wrong things. Success is not about doing more things. Success is about doing the right thing." This is the 80/20 principle in action. 20% of your activities will produce 80% of your results. High achievers identify that crucial 20% and spend most of their time and energy there. They say no to good opportunities so they can say yes to great opportunities. Think about your typical day. How much time do you spend on activities that directly contribute to your goals? How much time do you spend on activities that just fill time? High achievers are ruthless about eliminating time wasters and focusing on result producers. They also understand that success is not a destination, it's a journey. They celebrate their victories, but they don't rest on their achievements. They're always looking for the next mountain to climb, the next problem to solve, the next level to reach. I've seen people achieve a goal and then lose their drive because they thought success was a place they could arrive at and then stop. High achievers understand that success is a direction, not a destination. They're never finished growing, learning, or contributing. This brings me to another crucial aspect of the high achiever mindset. They understand the value of time. They treat time like their most precious resource because they know it's the only resource they can't get more of. High achievers don't spend time, they invest time. They ask themselves, what's the highest and best use of my time right now? They plan their days, they schedule their priorities, and they protect their time from activities that don't serve their goals. I learned this lesson when I started tracking how I spent my time. I was shocked to discover how much time I was wasting on activities that didn't contribute to my success. Television, unnecessary meetings, unproductive conversations, busy work that felt important but didn't create results. High achievers are different. They might spend 2 hours planning their week because they know that planning saves time. They might spend an hour exercising because they know that fitness gives them energy. They might spend an hour reading because they know that learning gives them new ideas and opportunities. They also understand that time is not just about quantity, it's about quality. They bring their full attention to whatever they're doing. When they're with their family, they're fully present. When they're working, they're fully focused. When they're resting, they're fully relaxed. This presence and focus multiplies the value of their time. They get more done in less time because they're not distracted, not multitasking, not half-heartedly doing things. High achievers also have a different relationship with failure. Most people see failure as evidence that they should quit. High achievers see failure as education. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to success. Every successful person I've ever met has a collection of failure stories. The difference is how they interpret those failures. They don't see them as personal defeats. They see them as learning experiences. They ask, what can I learn from this? How can I improve? What will I do differently next time? I failed many times before I succeeded. I had business ventures that didn't work out. I made presentations that fell flat. I pursued opportunities that didn't pan out. But each failure taught me something valuable. Each failure made me stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next opportunity. High achievers understand that failure is feedback. It's information about what's not working so you can adjust your approach. It's not a judgment of your worth as a person. It's data about your current strategy. They also understand that failure is temporary, but quitting is permanent. They're willing to fail fast, learn fast, and adjust fast. They understand that the fastest way to succeed is to double your rate of failure. This brings me to another key characteristic. High achievers are decision makers. They gather information, consider their options, and make decisions quickly. They understand that not making a decision is also a decision, and it's usually the worst decision you can make. Most people get paralyzed by trying to make the perfect decision. High achievers understand that there is no perfect decision. There are only decisions that move you forward and decisions that keep you stuck. They'd rather make a good decision quickly than a perfect decision slowly. I learned this from a successful business owner who told me, Jim, I'd rather be wrong in moving than right and stuck. You can adjust a moving car, but you can't steer a parked car. High achievers also understand the importance of systems and processes. They don't rely on willpower alone. They create systems that make success more automatic and failure less likely. If they want to exercise regularly, they don't rely on motivation. They schedule it. They prepare their workout clothes the night before. They find an accountability partner. They create a system that makes it easy to exercise and hard to skip. They want to save money. They don't rely on self-control. They set up automatic transfers to savings. They use apps that round up their purchases. They pay themselves first. They create a system that makes saving automatic. This is the power of systems thinking. Instead of trying to change through willpower, you change through better systems. Instead of trying to be disciplined, you create systems that make discipline easier. High achievers also understand the importance of mentors and models. They don't try to figure everything out on their own. They find people who have already achieved what they want to achieve and learn from them. This might be through books, seminars, personal relationships, or formal mentoring programs. The key is to find people who can show you the way because they've already walked the path. I've had many mentors throughout my life. Some I knew personally, others I knew through their books and teachings. Each one taught me something valuable. Each one helped me avoid mistakes and accelerate my progress. You don't have to learn everything through trial and error. You can learn from other people's trials and errors. You can benefit from their experience and wisdom. You can model their strategies and adapt them to your situation. High achievers are also givers. They understand that the more you give, the more you receive. They look for ways to add value to other people's lives. They share their knowledge, their resources, their connections, and their time. This is not just about being nice, although that's important. This is about understanding how the world works. Success is about creating value for others. The more value you create, the more success you'll experience. I learned this from a mentor who built a huge business by always asking, how can I help? He helped his customers solve problems. He helped his employees grow and develop. He helped his community through various charitable activities. The more he gave, the more he received. High achievers also understand the importance of health and energy management. They know that success requires sustained effort. And sustained effort requires good health and high energy levels. They eat foods that fuel their body and mind. They exercise regularly to maintain their physical strength and mental clarity. They get enough sleep to recover and recharge. They manage their stress through meditation, prayer, or other relaxation technique. They understand that their body is their most important tool. Without health, nothing else matters. Without energy, you can't pursue your goals with the intensity required for success. I've seen too many people sacrifice their health for their career, only to realize later that without health, their career success is meaningless. High achievers take care of their health as an investment in their future success. They also understand the importance of relationships. Success is not a solo journey, it's a team sport. High achievers invest in building strong relationships with family, friends, colleagues, and mentors. They understand that relationships are like a bank account. You have to make deposits before you can make withdrawals. They invest time in getting to know people, helping them, supporting them, and adding value to their lives. When they need help, support, or opportunities, they have a network of people who are willing to help them because they've already helped those people. They understand that success is not about what you know, it's about who you know and who knows you. Finally, high achievers understand that success is not just about personal achievement, it's about contribution. They want to make a difference in the world. They want to leave things better than they found them. This sense of purpose gives their life meaning beyond personal success. It motivates them to keep going when things get tough. It helps them maintain perspective on what really matters. The most successful people I know are not just focused on what they can get, but on what they can give. They understand that the purpose of life is not just to be successful, but to be significant. Not just to make money, but to make a difference. But let me share with you one more critical aspect of the high achiever mindset that separates the truly successful from those who just get by. High achievers understand the power of persistence and patience. They know that success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. They're willing to work for years to achieve their goals because they understand that anything worthwhile takes time. In our instant gratification society, most people want results immediately. They want to lose weight in 30 days, get rich in 6 months, build a successful business in a year. High achievers understand that real success, lasting success, takes time to build. I learned this lesson from a man who spent 15 years building his business before it became profitable enough for him to quit his day job. 15 years. Most people would have quit after 15 months. But he understood that he was building something bigger than immediate results. He was building a foundation for long-term success. High achievers plant trees whose shade they may never sit in. They start projects that may not pay off for years. They invest in relationships that may not benefit them immediately. They're playing a long-term game, while most people are focused on short-term wins. This long-term thinking changes everything. It means you're not discouraged by temporary setbacks because you know they're just part of the process. It means you're not frustrated by slow progress because you know that compound growth takes time. It means you're not tempted by get-rich-quick schemes because you understand that real wealth is built slowly and steadily. High achievers also understand the importance of gratitude and appreciation. They don't take their success for granted. They're grateful for their opportunities, their relationships, their health, their abilities. This gratitude keeps them grounded and motivated. I've noticed that grateful people are happier people, and happy people are more successful people. When you appreciate what you have, you attract more of what you want. When you focus on abundance, you create more abundance. When you recognize the good in your life, you open yourself up to more good. Gratitude also keeps you humble. Success can be intoxicating, and it's easy to start believing your own press. High achievers remember where they came from. They remember the people who helped them along the way. They remember the lessons they learned from their failures. This humility keeps them learning and growing. It keeps them open to new ideas and different perspectives. It keeps them connected to other people and grounded in reality. High achievers also understand the importance of rest and renewal. They know that you can't operate at full capacity all the time. They build recovery time into their schedules. They take vacations, they have hobbies, they spend time with family and friends. This is not laziness, this is wisdom. Just like athletes need recovery time between workouts to get stronger. Successful people need recovery time between intense work periods to maintain their effectiveness. I learned this lesson the hard way. Early in my career, I thought that working more hours automatically meant better results. I worked nights, weekends, holidays. I was always busy, always moving, always doing something. But I wasn't always productive. When I learned to balance work with rest, my productivity actually increased. When I was working, I was more focused, more creative, more energetic. When I was resting, I was actually resting, not worrying about work or feeling guilty about not working. High achievers understand that rest is not a reward for work completed, it's a requirement for work to be done well. They schedule rest like they schedule meetings. They protect their downtime like they protect their work time. They also understand the importance of celebrating their victories. Too many people achieve a goal and immediately start working toward the next goal without taking time to acknowledge their accomplishment. High achievers take time to celebrate their wins, both big and small. This celebration serves several purposes. It reinforces the positive behaviors that led to success. It provides motivation to continue working toward bigger goals. It creates positive memories that you can draw on during difficult times. I remember when I achieved my first major speaking goal. Instead of immediately setting a bigger goal, I took time to celebrate. I reflected on how far I had come. I thanked the people who had helped me. I enjoyed the moment. That celebration gave me energy and motivation for the next phase of my journey. High achievers also understand that success is not just about reaching your goals, it's about who you become in the process of reaching your goals. The person you become is more important than what you achieve, because who you are determines what you'll do. And what you do determines what you'll have. When you're working toward a goal, you're not just working toward an outcome, you're working on yourself. You're developing discipline, persistence, creativity, leadership, and all the other qualities that successful people possess. These qualities become part of who you are, and they'll serve you for the rest of your life. I've seen people achieve their goals and then lose everything because they didn't develop the character to sustain their success. I've also seen people fail to achieve their original goals but succeed beyond their wildest dreams because they develop the character that attracts success. Focus on becoming the person who deserves the success you want. Work on your character as much as you work on your goals. Develop the mindset, the habits, the disciplines, and the relationships that will not only help you achieve success, but help you keep it and enjoy it. High achievers also understand that life is not just about success. It's about balance. They want to be successful in their career, but they also want to be successful in their relationships, their health, their personal development, and their contribution to others. They understand that if you gain the whole world but lose your soul, you haven't really succeeded. They want success that they can be proud of. Success that doesn't require them to compromise their values or sacrifice the things that matter most. This balanced approach to success creates a richer, more fulfilling life. It means you're not just successful in one area while everything else falls apart. It means you're building a life that works in all the important areas. The mindset of high achievers is available to anyone willing to develop it. It's not about where you came from, it's about where you're going. It's not about what you've done, it's about what you're willing to do. It's not about your circumstances, it's about your choices. You have the power to choose your thoughts, your actions, your associations, your goals, and your character. You have the power to decide what kind of person you want to become and what kind of life you want to live. The question is not whether you can develop the mindset of a high achiever. The question is whether you will. The choice is yours and the time is now. Let me leave you with this final thought. Every successful person started exactly where you are right now. They had doubts, fears, limitations, and challenges. What made them different was not their circumstances, but their decision to think and act differently despite their circumstance. The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but a life unlived. It's not failing to achieve your goals, but failing to set goals worthy of your potential. It's not falling short of perfection, but falling short of your possibilities. You were born with unlimited potential. You have talents, abilities, and possibilities that are waiting to be developed. You have the capacity to learn, to grow, to change, and to contribute. You have everything you need to create an extraordinary life. The only thing standing between you and that extraordinary life is your willingness to develop the mindset of a high achiever. That willingness is a choice. That choice is available to you right now. That choice can change everything. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now. Start where you are. Start with what you have. The world is waiting for what you have to offer. Your family is waiting for the person you can become. Your future self is waiting for the decisions you make today. This is your time. This is your opportunity. This is your life. Don't waste it. Don't settle for less than you're capable of. Don't let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others stop you from pursuing your dreams. Develop the mindset of a high achiever and watch your life transform. Master your emotions. Focus on what matters most. See failure as education. Make decisions quickly. Create systems for success. Find mentors. Give generously. Take care of your health. Invest in relationships. Focus on contribution. Practice persistence and patience. Cultivate gratitude. Balance work with rest. Celebrate your victories. Work on your character. And strive for balance in all areas of life. The journey starts with a single step, a single decision, a single commitment to be better than you were yesterday. Take that step. Make that decision. Make that commitment. Your extraordinary life is waiting for you to claim it.